We need to talk. These cruise habits are ruining trips. I'm Timothy, and what you're about to hear might sting a little. Because today we're not talking about what the cruise line is doing wrong. We're talking about what passengers are doing wrong. These are the habits that quietly ruin your own vacation, drive the crew crazy, and sometimes cost you serious money. If any of this sounds familiar, don't worry, you're not alone. But you do need to know. Hit subscribe so you never miss another insider tip, and let's get into it. Number 1. Booking the cheapest cabin and expecting the best experience. Here's a mistake that plays out on every single sailing. A passenger books the lowest priced interior cabin on the ship, the one buried on deck 4 with no window and no frills, and then spends the entire cruise frustrated that it doesn't feel like the luxury brochure they were imagining. Here's the truth. That cabin was never supposed to feel luxurious. It was designed to get you on the ship at the lowest possible entry point so the cruise line could earn the rest from you once you're on board. The cheapest fares exist because mainstream cruise lines make the bulk of their money after the ticket is sold. Drinks, specialty dining, excursions, spa treatments, Wi-Fi packages. When you book the bare minimum and then resist spending anything extra, you end up with an experience that genuinely underwhelms. And who gets blamed? The cruise line. But the math was never going to work in your favor. The fix is simple. Either budget realistically for the extras you actually want, or choose a cruise package that bundles them in up front. Going in with clear expectations is the single fastest way to improve your trip before it even starts. Number 2. Ignoring the daily planner. Every morning, a daily program is slipped under your cabin door or available through the ship's app. It lists every activity, show, meal, sail, and special event happening that day from the moment you wake up until well past midnight. Most passengers glance at it once and set it aside. That is a costly mistake. That planner is not just a schedule. It's a map of where value is hiding on the ship. Complimentary cooking demonstrations, free trivia nights with real prizes, port talks from officers who have visited that destination hundreds of times, loyalty events, early booking discounts on future cruises. All of it is in the daily planner, and most of it disappears quietly if you don't show up. Experienced cruisers treat that sheet of paper like a game. They circle 3 or 4 things the night before and build their day around them. The passengers who say they were bored on their cruise are almost always the ones who never picked up the planner. Don't be that passenger. Number 3. Showing up late to everything. This one affects more people than you'd think. Passengers who show up late to the main dining room, late to a booked shore excursion, late to the gangway. On a cruise ship, time is not flexible. It is engineered. The dining room operates on a precise schedule, especially during traditional fixed seating. When a table of 8 has 6 people seated and 2 still on the elevator, the entire service for that table is held. The waitstaff fall behind, the kitchen gets backed up, and the passengers who were on time sit waiting with empty bread baskets and a growing sense of irritation. Shore excursions are even less forgiving. The ship will not wait for a private tour operator if you booked independently, and if you book through the cruise line, the ship will wait, but the tour group will not. Miss the departure and you miss the excursion entirely with no refund. Former tour coordinators will tell you the number 1 complaint they deal with is from passengers who were simply late and wanted the rules bent for them. They don't get bent. Arrive 10 minutes early to everything. That's it. That single habit separates relaxed cruisers from stressed ones. Number 4. Treating the buffet like a competition. The buffet on a large cruise ship feeds several thousand people every single morning. It is an extraordinary logistical operation, and yet nothing brings out the worst in passengers quite like a buffet line. Plate stacking, reaching across strangers, hovering over dishes before the server has set them down, taking portions large enough for 3 people, and then leaving half of it uneaten. Former dining staff have described buffet service as one of the most consistently stressful parts of their job, not because of the work itself, but because of passenger behavior. Here's what the crew will never say to your face. Waste at the buffet is a real and measurable problem. On a large ship, food waste can run into the thousands of pounds per sailing. That waste has a cost, and that cost gets built into your ticket price over time. Be reasonable. Take what you'll eat. Go back for more if you're still hungry. The food is not going to run out. This isn't a hotel breakfast where the scrambled eggs vanish by 9. The buffet on a cruise ship is restocked constantly. There is no reason to rush or overload your plate. Number 5. Skipping the pre-cruise research on ports. You have spent hundreds or possibly thousands of dollars on this trip. You will arrive at a port city you may never visit again, and a surprising number of passengers get off the ship, walk 50 feet to the nearest souvenir stall, spend 2 hours there, and reboard without ever seeing the actual destination. Port days are the most underused asset on a cruise vacation. Cities like Dubrovnik, Cartagena, Nassau, and Juneau have history, food, culture, and natural beauty that you cannot find at a pier stall selling refrigerator magnets. But you have to look for it before you arrive. Smart cruisers spend 30 minutes the night before each port day reviewing what the city offers, where the best local food is, what the walking distance from the pier looks like, and whether a simple taxi or the ship's shuttle makes more sense. That 30 minutes of homework can completely change the quality of your shore experience. Do not outsource your curiosity to whatever is closest to the gangway. Number 6. Complaining to the wrong people. Here is something former crew members talk about privately. When a passenger has a legitimate issue, most of them take it to the wrong person entirely. They complain to their waiter about a cabin problem. They tell the pool attendant their shore excursion was disappointing. They post angrily on social media from the ship instead of speaking to someone who can actually fix the problem. Every cruise ship has a guest services desk. It is staffed around the clock specifically to handle complaints and resolve issues. That is where your concerns belong. If you have an issue with your cabin, guest services. If a dining experience fell short, ask to speak with the restaurant manager. If an excursion did not meet the standard advertised, visit the excursion desk and document it in writing. The reason this matters is not just about getting results in the moment, it's about the end of cruise survey. Those surveys carry real weight. Legitimate, documented complaints that are unresolved make it into the official record. Venting to a deckhand does not. Speak to the right person, stay calm, and follow up in writing. That approach gets things fixed. Everything else just generates frustration for everyone involved. Number 7. Not understanding how gratuities work. Almost every major cruise line automatically adds a daily gratuity to your onboard account. On many lines, this runs between $16 and $22 per person per day. And every single cruise, a portion of passengers removes these charges at guest services because they believe they will tip their own crew members directly, and that works out to the same thing. It does not work out to the same thing. Here is why. Auto gratuities are pooled and distributed across dozens of crew members you interact with, but may never personally tip. The housekeeping staff who services your cabin twice a day, the kitchen workers who never see the dining room, the laundry crew that handles your towels at 2 in the morning. When you remove auto gratuities and only tip the people you personally see, the invisible workforce goes uncompensated. There is nothing wrong with tipping your cabin steward or waiter additionally in cash on top of the auto gratuity. That is a great habit, but removing the base gratuity entirely and replacing it with selective cash tips leaves real people short. Most cruise industry veterans consider it one of the most common and least talked about passenger mistakes on the water. Number 8. Being glued to your phone. This one is going to feel personal for some people, and that's fine. Cruise ships are now equipped with ship-wide Wi-Fi. Starlink connectivity has made it faster than ever, and the result is a growing percentage of passengers who spend their entire vacation doing exactly what they do at home, just with a better view. Here is the financial reality of that choice. Wi-Fi packages on cruise ships cost between $20 and $30 a day. On a 7-night sailing, that's up to $210 to spend your vacation scrolling. That's a specialty dinner. That's a spa treatment. That's a private tour at your next port that you'll actually remember. There is also a social cost. Crew members who have worked ships for years will tell you the guests who seem to enjoy themselves least are the ones who are hardest to pull away from a screen. The ones who remember their cruise most vividly are the ones who put the phone in the cabin safe for a few hours and just let themselves be present. You don't have to go completely offline, but give yourself a budget, both financial and time-based, and protect it. Number 9. Waiting until the last day to report a problem. This is the mistake that causes the most avoidable regret on a cruise. A passenger has an issue on day 2. Maybe the air conditioning in the cabin is not working properly. Maybe the shower drain is slow. Maybe the noise from a neighboring cabin is keeping them up at night. They decide not to say anything because they don't want to be difficult. They tell themselves they'll mention it later. Later becomes the last morning. By then, guest services is backed up with hundreds of end-of-cruise checkouts. The maintenance team is already focused on turnaround prep, and the passenger has suffered through 6 nights of a problem that could have been fixed in hours. Cruise ships are maintained by large engineering teams who can often address cabin issues within the same day they are reported. Temperature problems, plumbing issues, noise complaints, lighting problems. These are all solvable, but only if someone is told about them while there is still time to do something. Speak up early. The crew wants to fix it. That is their job. Staying quiet and suffering through it is not heroic. It just guarantees a worse trip. Number 10. Leaving a negative review without giving the crew a chance first. The post-cruise survey is one of the most powerful tools a passenger has, and it is regularly misused. Some passengers submit scathing reviews for problems that were never communicated to the crew during the sailing. The ship had no opportunity to respond because no one said anything while on board. A negative review that follows an unresolved complaint that was properly reported is fair and important. It holds the cruise line accountable. But a negative review for a problem that was never raised, that's a different situation entirely. It doesn't improve service. It doesn't protect future passengers. It just punishes crew members who never knew there was a problem to fix. If something goes wrong on your cruise, report it, document it, give them a chance to make it right. And if they don't, then by all means, put it in the survey. But give the ship a chance first. You might be surprised how quickly things can turn around when someone with the ability to help actually knows there's a problem. And that is your list. 10 habits that are quietly making cruises worse, and every single one of them is fixable before your next sailing. The cruise experience you want is absolutely available to you. It just takes a little more intention and a lot less frustration. If this gave you something to think about, hit like and subscribe for more Cruise Insider tips every week. Drop a comment below and tell us which habit you've seen most on board. We read every one. Until next time, Cruise Smarts time.